Kia ora New Zealand, in your bulletin today, a man in his 60s has been taken to hospital after a gyrocopter crash in Tauranga. The rotary-winged aircraft lost power shortly after takeoff from Tauranga Airport and landed in the shallows in Tauranga Harbour. The two men on board walked free, however one has been taken to hospital as a precaution. The opportunity for MPs to vote in another 5 years on the drinking age was voted down in Parliament last night. MPs debated the alcohol reform bill for over 5 hours. Mana leader Hone Harawira wanted the Justice Ministry to lead a review of the age in 5 years, and he had a clear message for his colleagues.
But I simply ask, what could be wrong with a review? It's not an overturning of the age for those who support the 1818 scenario. It's simply a review of the situation.
And a move to restrict alcohol advertising in a number of ways was just one of a number of attempted amendments from opposition MPs, including Labour's Ian Lees-Galloway.
I think particularly of some of the areas that I visited in Auckland. We're very, very close to schools. We see huge alcohol advertising.
There were two fairly large quakes for Christchurch this morning. The first measured 4.1 on the Richter scale at 3:20 a.m, with the second about 20 minutes later measuring 3.3. Police say there have been no reports of damage, but there was a definite roll to the quakes. The Prime Minister is blaming human error for another privacy breach at Work and Income. A handwritten note with a list of clients' names was accidentally handed to a Masterton Work and Income client. John Key says that's unacceptable, but he won't be sacking anybody over the incident.
I wouldn't sack someone in the private sector for that. I'd be disappointed in them and I'd ask them to be a bit more careful. If we're going to sack every New Zealander that makes a pretty simple mistake like that, boy, we get used to sacking everybody, because I've made mistakes.
To the Middle East now, and a shell fired from Syria has hit a health centre in a Turkish border town. The shell landed 200 metres from the Syrian border and shattered windows of the building. Turkey has been retaliating systematically on each occasion that its border with Syria has been violated. And the polls indicating Barack Obama has won the final televised presidential debate, but it's anybody's guess who will win the election. Polls from CNN, CBS and Forbes put Obama ahead of Republican rival Mitt Romney. Auckland University Associate Professor of Political Studies Stephen Hoadley says the two candidates are neck and neck in the national polls, even in the swing states.
The two popularity lines have converged, and at this point, if one were to ask me who I would predict would win, I would not be able to say.
Stephen Hoadley says nothing short of a major outbreak of war or some other catastrophe could make a great difference to the election result now. And in sports, the highest wicket taker in Test history is expected to lend a helping hand to the Black Caps in their upcoming tour of Sri Lanka. Retired spinner Muttiah Muralitharan has been recruited to help the side when they hit the subcontinent for 1 T20, 5 one-dayers and 2 tests beginning next week. And Apple has unveiled its latest creation today, the mini iPad. The world's most valuable company took the less expensive and smaller iPad out of its box to show off to the world in California this morning. And finally, 5 Kiwis of the feathered kind now have a new home on Motutapu Island off the coast of Auckland, thanks to the efforts of the organisation Kiwis for Kiwi. Aucklanders now have the unique chance of being able to spot kiwis in the wild, with the island only being 10 minutes from the Auckland CBD. Ka nui ngā kareri mātua mai e te whare kōrero o Rima, Māori ora.